Friends, last time we studied about class A push-pull power amplifier that amplifies the input power level by pushing and pulling action of the power transistors whose operating point is adjusted exactly on the center of the load line so that at the output current flows throughout full of the AC input cycle, but its efficiency is less. To improve its efficiency, Class B push-pull power amplifier is designed. We studied in the classification Class B power amplifier. Class B power amplifier, by the definition we can say, it is an amplifier in which the output current flows only in the half of the AC input cycle, whereas remaining half of the input cycle doesn't allow current to pass through the output. And this is achieved by removing the resistor divider biasing network from the circuit. By removing that resistor divider biasing network from the circuit, the operating point of amplifier or power transistor in the amplifier is adjusted exactly at the cutoff point. We have studied in the classification. We studied graphically how it allows current only in the half of the AC input cycle. If that type of adjustment is done in the Class A power amplifier, the resulting circuitry will be Class B push-pull power amplifier. Friends, such a Class B push-pull power amplifier is represented here. What changes that is done to get the Class B push-pull power amplifier from the Class A? Look at here. Here, no resistance R1 and R2 are present. I will show you again. Here R1 and R2 are present. This is only absent in case of Class B push-pull amplifier. VCC is present, no doubt about that, but the combination of R1 and R2 that forms the resistor biasing arrangement in Class A power amplifier, it is absent here. Due to that absency, operating point of both the transistors, power transistor Q1 and Q2, are adjusted at the cutoff point. When operating point is adjusted at the cutoff point, it allows output collector current to flow only for the positive half cycle bar both the transistors, whereas no current flows in the negative half cycle. Already that arrangement is done in this particular amplifier, otherwise the circuit is same as that of Class A, with the difference that R1 and R2 are absent. Such a Class B push-pull power amplifier now consists of, analogous to that, transformer T1 whose primary is connected to the input signal to be amplified. Secondary provides the 180 degree out of phase signal whose center tapping is connected with the power supply VCC. Also it is connected to the center tapping of the transformer T2, that is output transformer. This will make the operating point of Q1 and Q2 at the cutoff point. Secondary winding of the transformer T1 is connected to the base of transistor Q1, whereas the emitter of both the transistors are connected with each other. Across collector of both the transistor, primary winding of output transformer it is connected. Across secondary winding of output transformer, a load resistance RL is connected. You may replace this load resistance by speaker or headphone. So that forms the construction of Class B push-pull power amplifier. Dear students, let us begin to deal with its working. When input signal to be amplified is given to the primary winding of the transformer T1, which is the impedance matching transformer that provides secondary power, secondary voltage across the secondary winding so that it provides 180 degree out of phase signal to the base of Q1 as well as base of Q2, which are represented here. Phase shift that is represented. If suppose Q1 receives the positive half cycle with respect to center tapping, Q2 receives, the base of Q2 receives the negative half cycle with respect to center tapping. Again, as both the transistors are of NPN type, emitter base junction of transistor Q1, it is forward biased. So that's why it allows current to pass through the collector, acting it as a pushing transistor, whereas emitter base junction of transistor Q2 is reverse biased. It doesn't allow collector current to pass through the output, it acts as a pulling transistor. Thus IC1 flows through upper half of the transformer, primary winding of the transformer T2, no current through the lower half of the transformer. But when polarity of the input signal reverses, that makes base of transistor Q1 to receive the negative half cycle, whereas base of transistor Q2 to receive the positive half cycle. Due to this, emitter base junction of transistor Q1 will reverse biased, whereas emitter base junction of transistor Q2 will be forward biased. Hence transistor Q2 will start conducting the current IC2, whereas the transistor Q1 doesn't conduct the current IC1. IC2 flows only through the half part of the primary winding of the transformer, whereas no current through the upper half of the transformer T2. Hence here transistor Q2 acts as a pushing transistor, whereas transistor Q1 is going to act as a pulling transistor. Thus every time the difference between IC1 and IC2 flows through the primary winding, at the cost of that it will develop the mutual flux between primary and secondary winding, which allow amplified current to pass through the load resistance RL, which will develop the amplified power. As a being here, when one transistor is off, other is on. When other is off, first one is on. That is, when one is pushing the current, other one is pulling the current. So that's why it is called as a push-pull power amplifier. As it doesn't contain the resistor divider biasing network, its operating point is located at the cutoff point. So that's why it doesn't allow current to pass in both of the half cycle. It allows current to pass only in the half of the AC input cycle. So that's why it belongs to the class B. Hence it is known as class B push-pull power amplifier. But this has one drawback, and that is it creates the crossover distortion. Crossover distortion means what? When one transistor is off, look at here, it is represented, output signal. Transistor is on here. Here transistor 1 is on, means Q1 is on, no doubt about that. Here this TR2 is off. In this particular cycle, transistor TR2 is off, TR1, Q1 is on and Q2 is off. But this is the particular period for which both the transistor will remain off, no current flows. Here this is off, whereas this one is on here. But this is the time period where both the transistors are again off. Such a type of the distortion which is going to be generated is known as crossover distortion, where for a fraction of second both the transistors will be remaining going to be off. No current flows. Here, look at here. This is off, this is also off. No current flows through the circuit, and such a type of the distortion is known as the crossover distortion. This crossover distortion is removed or overcome in the next type of amplifier known as the class AB power amplifier. Friends, this is the class AB power amplifier. Class AB power amplifier is the power amplifier in which the operating point of both the transistors are adjusted well below the cutoff point. Adjusted in between class A and class B power amplifier. Dear students, you are aware that in case of class A power amplifier, operating point is adjusted exactly at the center of the load line. Whereas in case of class B power amplifier, operating point is adjusted exactly at the cutoff point. How it is possible? It is made possible that in class A power amplifier, resistor divider biasing method is used. But in case of class B power amplifier, that R1 and R2 are removed. If you remove R1 and R2, operating point will be at cutoff. If you add R1 and R2 to form the resistor divider biasing network, its operating point is exactly at the center of the load line. Now, we have to adjust the operating point in between center of the load line and at the cutoff point. And to achieve that, to bring the operating point to the cutoff, one has to remove the resistor divider biasing. If you remove that, operating point will be at cutoff. Now it should not be at the cutoff, in between at the center, and that's why this arrangement is done. Look at here. Here, power supply is connected in such a way that through the resistance R and diode D, which is connected to the center tapping of the primary winding. Due to this arrangement, operating point of transistor Q1 as well as Q2 are adjusted in between the center of the load line and also at the cutoff point. Due to this, current flows less than positive half of the AC input cycle, as we have studied in the classification. And due to this arrangement, crossover distortion which is present in class B power amplifier, it is overcome. Otherwise, this circuit diagram is same as that of class A as well as class B power amplifier. What it contains now? It contains routinely transformer T1, which is the impedance matching transformer, whose primary is connected to input power to be amplified. Secondary windings are connected to the base of transistor Q1 and Q2, whose emitters are connected with each other and it is grounded. Collector of both the transistors are connected to the primary winding of the transformer T2, known as output transformer, or it is called as a driver transformer sometimes. Across its secondary load resistance RL is connected, across which we are going to get amplified output power. In addition to that, to adjust the operating point of transistor Q1 and Q2 in between the center of the load line and at the cutoff point, the combination of resistance R and the diode D, it is connected to the VCC and the ground. The combined point of resistance R and P region is connected to the center tapping of the transformer. This will keep the base of transistor Q1 as well as Q2 at the beginning slightly to the reverse bias condition, and some amount of input power is used to overcome that particular signal. It is going to act as a rectifier circuit. When both the one transistor will be turning off from on to off, other will be going from off to on. During that, there is a result of crossover distortion, and that aspect is going to be removed, so as the crossover distortion is totally going to be avoided. input signal arrives, when positive signal reaches to this particular point, it is forward biased and develops the voltage across resistance R. But when negative half cycle arrives, it is a reverse bias. It doesn't conduct and it doesn't develop the voltage. With this particular action, one can reduce the crossover distortion which is going to be existing in case of class B push-pull power amplifier. Otherwise, this circuitry will remain same. This VCC is connected again to this secondary winding. This connection is same. Biased resistance. Look it here. Now how this circuit work? Routinely when input signal is applied, it will develop secondary winding voltage which is connected to the base of transistor Q1 and base of transistor Q2. Depends upon this particular signal. It is going to decide now whether emitter base junction of Q1 is forward bias. If it is forward bias, it will pushes the current at the output. When it pushes the current, emitter base junction of transistor Q2 is reverse biased. It pulls the current back. Hence, in the upper half, current flows, whereas in the lower half, no current flows. That is IC1 flows and IC2 doesn't flows. But when polarities are reversed, Q1 doesn't conduct the current IC1, Q2 conducts the current, this pushes the current, whereas Q1 pulls the current. So IC2 flows only in the lower half of the circuitry. Thus, the difference between IC1 and IC2 flows through the primary winding of the transformer T2, which will develop the flux between primary and secondary winding. It will allow amplified current to pass through the load resistance RL, which will develop the amplified output power. Friends, this is what we can call it as, it is a class B push-pull power amplifier. Dear students, this is what we can call it as class A, class B and also class AB push-pull power amplifiers. That's what all about the different types of power amplifiers. Rest will say it in the next time.